And go.
Cool. Awesome. Welcome everyone to the first of 2 orientations for the fall 2021 Collab Lab cohort. I'm so excited that you're all here. If you are not comfortable being on camera, no problem at all. You're welcome to face mute, turn off your video if you want to. We are recording, we're gonna post this to YouTube just in our Collab Lab channel. We're not gonna tweet it out and all that kind of stuff, but we will it will be there available if people went looking for it. So, but welcome everyone. We're just here. We have an hour to kind of help you get oriented to what's about to happen. This experience you're going to go through for the next 8 weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to feel like a lot of information here today. So we apologize in advance. All of this information is written down. So if there are parts of this that you're like, oh, what did they say then? I mean, A, it's recorded, B, it's written down. C, we will be repeating all this information as we get closer to the time when everything kicks off. So don't worry too much about if you don't catch every little detail. This is more of a chance for us to kind of share high level how things are going to go, help you understand all that. So, but anyway, I'm Andrew, the founder of Collab Lab. Yeah, I'm in Portland, Oregon, and my pronouns are he, him. So I'd love for everyone just to go around and just quickly say that, and maybe what team you are part of as well. So if you're TCL 31 or 32, 33, 34, 35. Stacie, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm going to throw in location there too, because I just think it's really fun to hear where everybody's from. So yeah. I'm dropping in the chat all the things we're introing just in case you need a reminder like I do. So name, Stacie. Hi, I'm Stacie. I'm the co-founder of Collab Lab. Nice to meet you all. Pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm not directly mentoring any teams this cohort, but I'm here for all of you if you need anything. I'm also a code of conduct responder for team 31. And I'm in England right now because my partner lives here, but I also am in California. So I'll be back in California on Friday. So I will pass it to Lauren.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Beatty. I live just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a longtime mentor with Collab Lab, and I am helping out a little bit at the beginning of TCL 33. So I'll get to meet some of my TCL 33 people today. I'm excited. And otherwise, I help coordinate mentors. So I'll be behind the scenes, helping mentors mentor you. Mandy, I'll pass it to you.
Hi, I'm Mandy, calling from Colorado. I live just outside of Denver. What were the other things? I'm nervous. My
pronouns and what team you're on, yeah.
Okay, I'm she, her, hers, and I don't remember. I don't have Slack open in front of me. I think I'm 32, and don't quote me on that. I will pass it on to Gabby.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gabriela. I'm from Venezuela, but now I live in Canada, Kitchener, Ontario. My pronoun is she or her. Yeah, I don't know what can I say more. The next is Victoria, sorry.
Hi, I'm Victoria, calling in from Barbados. She, her, or they, them are fine with me. I think I'm in number 31, and I think I know the person who was just elected in Kitchener to be your member of parliament, but we'll talk about that another time. Nice to meet you all.
Wow. Somebody want to jump in next?
I'll pass it on to Chiamaka.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi. My name is Chiamaka. I am in Nigeria. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm mentoring the TCL 35 cohort. Nice to meet you all. So I pass it on to Jonathan. Yeah.
Hello, My name is Jonathan. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm based in Seattle and I'm mentoring TCL 32. Yeah, and I can pass it on to Andrea.
Hello, I'm Andrea. I am also in the Minneapolis area, so it's fun to know that that's where Lauren is too. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I think I'm on TCL 31. Oh, wow, I just did all of them, didn't I? Okay, that's everything I need to tell you. And then I pass it on to someone, right? How about IU?
Hi, I'm Ayu, and I'm in the Netherlands, and I'm in TCL 35, and my pronoun is she, her, hers. And I will pass it to Dana.
Great. I'm Dana, and I'm also in the Netherlands. So I think that's why I pass it on to me, because we're in the same group, 35. My pronouns are also she, her, hers, and it's nice meeting you all. So I will pass it on to Susanna.
Hi, my name is Susana. I am in Colombia. My pronouns she, her, hers, and I am in the 34 group, and I pass to I don't know, Alejandro.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am Alejandro. I live in Bolivia. My pronouns is he, him. My team, this time I am a mentor. I am so happy. My team is TCL 34. I'm happy and excited. I will pass to Jordan.
Hi all, I'm Jordan, nice to meet you. I'm based in Chicago and I am on team TCO 32. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I'll pass it to Juan.
Hi, my name is Juan. I'm originally from Colombia, but I live in Montreal. I'm part of TCL 34, and my pronouns are he, him. And I'll pass it on to Golfo.
Okay, thank you. I'm
Oh no, Golfo, I think your mic cut out. Okay, Golfo is an incredible mentor with us at TCL, has mentored many teams, and is the mentor for team 35?
35, and
35.
lives in Greece.
Lives in Greece. All right, I'll pass it on to Adima.
All right, my name is Edema, and I'm excited to be here and to collab with everyone. I am in Lagos, Nigeria, and my pronouns are he, him, his. So I'm very happy to be here. I'll pass it on to Beatty, right?
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm eating, so that's why my camera is off, but I'm Shajia. My pronouns are she and her, and I am based in Tennessee at the moment, and I am the mentor for TCL 31. Nice to meet you all.
Arvin, how about you go next?
Sorry.
Hey guys, I'm Marvin Fernandez. I live in New York City. I'm in the team TCL 33, and I'm also very excited to be here. So I can't wait to see what we build.
Who would you like to go?
Yeah, I don't know who has gone and who
It's
hasn't.
getting down to it. I think Jennifer. How about Jennifer?
Okay, hi guys. I'm Jennifer Toops. I am in TCL 33. And who is it? I am so sorry. I can't pronounce your name. Beatty. I'm also in Tennessee. I'm in Knoxville. So pretty awesome here. And my pronouns are she and her, and I think that's it. But I don't know who else is gone. Can I get a hint? Oh, MS, I'm gonna pass it off to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jennifer. Hey, everyone. My name is Manan, and I'm hailing here from New York City, and I'm really excited to be here. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a part of TCL 33.
Maybe Aiden?
Hi.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Hi, my name is Miley, or Miliu. I living in Venezuela. My team is 34.
Great. And I think Aiden and Fatima are the last two.
I'm Aiden.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm Aiden. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm in TCL 31. Positive Fatima.
Okay. I'm Fatima. My pronouns are she and she, her, and I'm in Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm in Nigeria right now. I'm in TCL 35.
Hi, my name is Isabella. I am from Brazil. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my team is TCL 34.
And then Jan, I think it might be it.
All right. Hi, my name is Giancarlo, although you can call me Jan. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Venezuela, and I'm in core 34.
That's great. Wow, Venezuela represent, man.
I know, right? And the Netherlands.
Yeah. Two Netherlands.
Netherlands too.
Nigerians, love it.
We're like, look her.
Yeah. This is great. This is one of my actually it's one of my favorite calls that we do at Collab Lab, because we have so many people from all over the world. Just love everything that all of you are bringing to the community. So super excited to just kind of explain what you're about to get into. I don't know if Lauren, if you were going to share something.
Oh yeah, Stacie, did you share that new document with me?
It's just, yeah, let me grab it real quick. It's just the one from the.
I can wing it. I've done this a few times, but I'll further doctor work off, I'll be able to get structured about it. So
I'm going to share it in the chat so everybody can follow along. You all have a version of this in your own repos, but this is the one from our template repo. And I voluntold Lauren to share her screen. Sorry.
Oh wait, I need permission, please.
What?
So each of you at this point should be, you're all in the fall 2021 cohort channel. You should also be assigned to your team channel. So you should have a way to talk to your team. In Slack, there's a group set up where you can tag in all the people on your team as well, whenever you need to. So anyway, that's sort of some of the communication logistics about that stuff. But yeah, you're oh, go ahead.
Oh, just before you jump in, I want to do code of conduct stuff too.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to?
Do you want me to do it now?
Sure, go ahead, go for it.
So, hi, before we get into the whole orientation doc, there is our code of conduct. And I want to talk about that because it very much guides everything we do at Collab Lab. So at Collab Lab, we have a code of conduct that we take very seriously, and you should have already read it as part of the application process, and you checked a box saying you read it and agreed to it when you, what do we call that? When we sent out that form where you confirmed your participation. Wow, words, they're hard sometimes. Anyway, so our code of conduct is in place because we want to make sure that everybody who participates at the Collab Lab, whether they're a participant like most of you, or a mentor or a tech talk speaker, has a really psychologically safe space to come and participate and learn and grow. So we take it very seriously, and we think that it's everyone here's duty to uphold the code of conduct. But each of your teams will have their own code of conduct responder. If they haven't already reached out to you in Slack, in your team channel, they will in the next few days. But they're professionally trained, and they're just there for you for whatever you might need from them. A couple weeks into the program, they'll be reaching out to you to schedule a one-on-one. And that's really just your time to talk about whatever you might need to talk about. If there's anything that made you feel uncomfortable or needs to improve, that's the perfect time to talk about that. Also, if you're having a good time and you really liked, a couple different things, you should bring those up too, because it helps us understand what things are making you feel like you have a safe space to learn and grow, and we can continue building on those things. So know that the code of conduct's in place. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns about it, you can reach out to your code of conduct responder. You can reach out to all of the code of conduct responders at codeofconduct@thecollablab.co. It's a mouthful, I'll send it in chat. But essentially, you can find all of the code of conduct stuff on our website, including the email to reach out to all of us. Yeah, that's it. It guides everything that we do here, and we hold it very highly. So it is here for you as well. Okay, that's my bit on the code of conduct. Andrew, on to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's important because it kind of governs everything that we do. So we have a tech talk series that's more of a public meetup, and we use the code of conduct there as well. So really every time, whenever we're kind of interacting in this space, that code of conduct is a way for us to just kind of provide a little safety for people. So thanks, Stacie. So, what is the Collab Lab exactly? I know you've applied, you've been accepted, you're here now, it's too late. Just kidding. But the Collab Lab really exists. It's to help you all break into tech. It's not easy, right? Like tech is, a lot of gatekeeping goes on, a lot of just companies thinking that they don't have a way to properly support early career developers and things. We're here to give you some skills, some practice working on a team together, working under the guidance of professionals in the field, so that you learn how teams work together in a kind of a real world setting. So it's something that's pretty hard to simulate on your own. If you're self-studying, if you're in a boot camp even, boot camp is more like school. This is not school. So in a school setting, you're being evaluated on your performance. Maybe you do a group project or something, but here you're working as a team to get something done, and we're using the same tools that you will experience in tech in your jobs. So we feel like by doing that, we are going to kind of open the doors a little bit in tech, because you're all going to get those jobs, and hopefully you're all going to look out for the people who are coming behind you, try to open doors for them, and you'll have this ripple effect, and hopefully soon tech will be a more welcoming place for people like you. So that's what we're here, that's what we're trying to accomplish. And the way that we do this, we put you on a team of 4, you have 3 mentors assigned to you. You're going to work on a project over the course of 8 weeks. It's called a smart shopping list. Smart is in quotes, just it's an algorithm. I mean, it's but you'll see like there's it's basically a shopping list that learns your shopping habits. And so as you buy things, it starts to understand how often you buy the thing, and starts to put the things that you need soon at the top of the list. So it's kind of clever. It's an idea that came out when I taught at a boot camp a few years ago, and one of those students had this idea for a capstone project that was basically the same thing. And so anyway, you can there's a demo here in the orientation doc where you can watch a video walkthrough of one of the teams. I mean, that was a while ago. I don't know which team that was. So TCL 6. So this is going way back. We do the same project every time, so that we can make sure that it's sort of that it's scoped really carefully, so you can get through the work at a good pace. So you can watch that demo to kind of get an idea of where we're going with what the end result is. Your project is likely to turn out very different from this one. Everyone kind of turns out differently, which is part of the fun of each, seeing the creativity you all bring to it. So let's see, I guess, so you are joining this community. We're running teams every quarter, and we have teams this time we have 3 teams in North America. We have a team in Europe and Africa time zones. We have a Latin America team that's going to run in Spanish. So So yeah, so let's see. I guess let's see. What else should I talk about? I guess pair programming. I'll talk about that. So we really believe, so knowing how to code is just one of the things you do as a developer, and you might think it's like mostly what you do. It's kind of not really mostly what you do. I mean, there's a lot of other things that you do as a developer, a lot of coordinating with your team, and it's really about solving problems. So one of the ways that we really believe strongly is just a really effective way to do that is by pair programming. So, you are all relatively early in your careers. You bring some knowledge, the other person is going to bring some knowledge, and when you work together, you have a much better chance of sort of solving the problem in an elegant way. So, a portion of your hours each week, and we kind of expect around 5 hours a week from each of you for this project. Some portion of that, 2 or 3 hours, hopefully will be spent pair programming each week with a pair person who kind of gets rotated. You rotate around the team and pair with everybody on the team. So it's a great opportunity to both learn from the other person, teach the other person things that you might know, tips and tricks, or just things you picked up, and just get perspective on what you're doing. So there's no one right way to pair program. There's lots of ways to do it. So I think it's in the third week, we'll do an actual presentation on some ideas around pair programming. But in the meantime, just go in and just do your best and try to, see what works for you, and, just kind of get in there with your partner and, just figure some things out. And I think I'll hand it off to one of you all now, Stacie or Lauren. Lauren, maybe?
That's me. That's me.
I see you're unmuted, so it must be you.
Yeah. All right. So the section I'm going to cover goes over a gazillion details. So I am sorry in advance, but just know that all of this information is in this orientation document. And of course, we're recording. And while it feels like a lot of tiny details right now, as you are working week to week, all of these things become second nature, and they're just habits that you're going to build. So you don't need to take in all of this information and just know it right off the bat. So how does the Collab Lab work? How do we build this project together? So the project that you'll be working on, this smart shopping list, is organized in your GitHub repository as a set of user stories. So I don't know if this is set up yet, but once you find your repository, there's a projects tab, right? Usually we kind of land on the code tab. And then if you go to the projects tab, you will have a TCL, whatever your number is, smart shopping list issues project board. And on here, there will be a list of, I think, 13 user stories. So your team of 4 developers will pair off into 2 every week, and each pair will take 1 story from this backlog. And a story looks like this. So I'm just going to click on a story, and it will have a description of what the issue is, and it will have some acceptance criteria. I didn't pick a very good story, but it will have acceptance criteria for that particular story. So you'll work with your pair partner throughout the week, and you will work until that story is quote unquote done. So a story is done when you've met all of those particular acceptance criteria. If it's a more front-end focused feature, you'll want to review it for accessibility. Can you navigate and do all of the things that you need to do by keyboard? Is the color contrast okay? You can use a tool like Axe or some kind of browser plugin to just make sure that your feature is accessible. The code to complete the task first gets reviewed by the other pair of developers who are working on the other issue. So it goes through 2 rounds of code review throughout the week. So first, the other pair of developers will review it. And then once they give it the thumbs up and you've incorporated that feedback, then your mentors will do a round of code review too. They'll check, does it meet the acceptance criteria? And they'll offer some feedback about, like, hey, this is a really great way to approach this problem, or hey, have you considered a different way? This is a different way that I've handled this particular problem in the past. So it goes through 2 rounds of code review, and that mentor or the product owner will accept that work and decide that it's totally met the acceptance criteria. And then you'll merge your code into main at the end of that and demo your work in the weekly sync. So at the end of the 8-week project, all of those stories will be complete and you'll have this really fantastic looking smart shopping list. And as everyone has said already, it's so neat to see how different all of the projects are. Every team really brings their own personality and spin to the project. Super fun. Coordination and communication. So the Collab Lab, of course, is not, you're going to be writing code, but it's really not our #1 focus. It's much more about collaboration, working together, learning how to work on a software development team. So coordination and communication is a huge part of what we do as developers. So it's really important to learn how to document your work. And there are a couple of ways that we do this, but we really encourage you to open up toward the beginning of your week a draft PR of the issue that you're working on. This is a great place where you can make comments just right on that draft PR. If you click on this link in your orientation guide, it'll take you to some documentation on how to create a draft PR. And of course, your mentors can help you as well. But it's a great place to kind of document research along the way, ask questions of your partner or ask questions of the mentor. Opening a draft PR is a really good way to focus that documentation and communication that's happening around that technical issue. Another main tool that we use for communication and coordination is Slack. You've already been invited, of course, to our Slack instance for the Collab Lab, and we have our team channels. There are group mentions that you can use. So for group TCL 33, for example, if you type in at group TCL 33, that'll ping all of the developers on your team. That's super handy. And there's also at group TCL 33 mentors, and that'll ping all of us who are mentors for your team. So if you haven't used Slack, or if you haven't used it a lot, no worries. You'll learn to love it. Slack is really fun to use, but some tips to use going forward. #1 is using threads. Threads are super great to help organize your communication around, Stacie, yes, around a particular subject. If you have used Slack in the past and you know that you can search through Slack to find information like, what was that one thing that I did that one time? I know it's in Slack somewhere. If you're using threads, it's a really great place to find the question and the answer right in the same chunk of information. So threads are a super way to help encapsulate communication. #2 thing that's really great about threads is that they help keep notifications to everyone to a minimum. So let's say you and your pair partner have a thread going. That's really nice for notifications for your teammates, that they don't get pinged every time something pops up in that thread. So threads are a really great way to communicate in Slack. And then speaking of notifications, I've said this already, but using @mention is totally acceptable and really encouraged. If you need to get somebody in particular's attention, or if you need to get the mentor's attention, or you need to get your team's attention, go ahead and @mention them. It's just, it will help that remote communication flow a little bit faster. So if I need Stacie's attention, I'll say, @Stacie, could you review this PR, as opposed to, could someone review my PR, right? You'll just get a much quicker response if you @mention someone. Oh, and then I think the best part about Slack, and I think the thing that many of us love about Slack, is just using GIFs and emojis very, very liberally. It helps to create a really fun team, expressive atmosphere in Slack. So don't be afraid of using GIFs and emojis, please. It's really the best part of Slack, honestly. Okay, talking about the development process. So you have your pair buddy for the week. We will be working on feature branches in your repositories in Git. So branches, we do have like a naming convention for our branches. So they should be named in the following way. The initials of person one, dash initials of person two, dash very short description of your issue. A lot of times software development teams will have specific ways that they recommend you name your feature branches. So for example, if Stacie and Alejandro are working together on an issue, this is different Alejandro, sorry, Alejandro. It would be st-an-connect to Firestore, right? Then we know who's working on it and we have a pretty good idea of what that issue is. Excellent. And then the very first weekly sync that you're going to have, there's going to be a really great learning module on Git. So your mentors will go through kind of the main processes that you'll use and the main workflows that you will use throughout your time here at the Collab Lab on Git. So no worries, but this is how you check out a branch and push up that new branch. When you and your pair partner have working code that you believe is ready to be merged into main and deployed, you'll follow the following steps. You'll create a pull request. Of course, you'll already have a draft pull request and you can just turn that into a ready to review pull request. You'll want to go to Slack and notify the other team members that your PR is ready for review. There'll be a round of code review. You'll incorporate feedback from that team. Once they give it the thumbs up, then you'll want to go back to Slack again and really mention those mentors and say, hey, our PR is ready for your review at mentors. Once that goes through another round of code review and you've incorporated that feedback and they give you the thumbs up, then you get to merge your PR into main and check your work on the production site. Super exciting. And then celebrate. So that's what the week of development and what the workflow on Git looks like for you. All right, so we've mentioned a little bit already about time commitment. So we really want this to be a sustainable program for everybody. We realize that everyone has lives and responsibilities outside of the Collab Lab. We want you spending no more than 5 hours a week on this project. So if it gets to be more than that, please raise that up with your mentors, with your code of conduct responder, raise the flag, because we want to know if it's getting to be too much. We can help you either figure out a way to break down the work a little bit more easily, or how to organize that work a little bit more easily, or we can help you solve those problems, right? So please, let's keep it super sustainable for you. We don't want this to be a burdensome task. We want it to be really fun and sustainable. In terms of the weekly cadence, how we recommend you think about planning your work throughout the week. You have 5 hours, and really the expectation is that 2 of those hours are spent pair programming synchronously with your partner. Generally, our weekly syncs are going to be on Saturday or Sunday. So you'll have that weekly sync on Saturday or Sunday. You'll get to know who your pair partner is for the coming week and get assigned your issue. We recommend strongly that you try to front load that development work at the beginning of the week and shoot for having a pull request ready to review by Wednesday. Wednesday is a really good goal to have in mind for getting that pull request done. What I think surprises everyone the most, it always surprises me, how long code review takes. And in this setting, we're doing 2 rounds, right? The other pair will review your code and then mentors will review the code. So that part of the project might take longer than you would expect. So plan on Thursday, Friday are really the code review days. So shooting for a PR for Wednesday, code review Thursday, Friday, ready to demo on the weekend. Cool. So weekly syncs. So every weekend, either on Saturday or Sunday, you'll have a weekly synchronous meeting with all of your team. All of the mentors and all of the developers will meet every single week together to talk about the work, to celebrate, to learn something, and it's a really, really fun time. So they look a little bit different depending on the week. In general, we always start with demos and discussion of the work that happened. So at the end of week 1, for example, you will demo the work that you did the past week. And this is a really great opportunity for, all of our meetings are recorded. So this is a great opportunity for you to be able to show off a really polished demo to a future employer, for example. So it's important to really think about how you and your partner want to present the work that you did throughout the week. This is an important part of what we do on software teams, is demoing to one another and demoing to stakeholders. So this is a great thing to get to practice in a really safe space. We alternate weeks. So one week we'll have a learning module that a mentor will present on a topic. Like the very, very first weekly sync, we're talking about Git. We'll talk about pair programming. We'll talk about code review. So every other week after demos, we'll have learning modules. Then opposite weeks, we'll have a retrospective. So this is a great time to show appreciation for others on your team and for talking about the things that have been going really well, things that are maybe getting in the way, and coming up with some action items on things to work on going forward, like what could make the team work together even better. So opposite weeks, you'll have either a learning module or retrospective during that weekly sync. And then finally, at the end of those weekly syncs, you'll have about 15 minutes of planning for the upcoming week. You'll find out who your pair partner is, and you'll talk about and ask any questions about the GitHub issue that you're assigned for that week. Oh my gosh, that was a lot.
Oh my gosh, was it ever? It never gets less somehow. We have to do this, and it just feels like a lot every time. But hopefully it was super helpful. It is all here documented for you to go back through this. And like Lauren was saying before, you're not expected to absorb all of this information and know exactly what to do right away. I think Andrew has this beautiful like board game analogy that I love to hear. Can you please say it, Andrew? I love to hear you say it.
Well, it's a little bit like when you learn a new board game, and you know how you'll sit there and read the rules and be like, I don't know, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But then as soon as you start playing it, it's like, oh, okay, start to see how it all comes together, right? So same kind of thing here. You're going to get in, it sounds like all these details to keep track of. You'll start to very quickly get the hang of, this is what needs to happen, kind of in what order during the week. This is how I create a branch. This is how I do a code review, like all those things. And once you've done it for a couple of weeks, you'll really get into the flow of it. So just be easy on yourself, ask all the questions. If you're ever like, what was the next thing I was supposed to do? That's why your mentors are there. They can clarify it any time. So
yes, I love that. Yeah. Exactly that. If you have questions, be super duper loud about them in Slack, ask them in public, ask them in the cohort channel or in your team channel, because chances are somebody else has that exact same question. So just be really loud about when you have them. It's also helpful feedback for us to see what we weren't making as clear as should be. So just be loud if you have questions, comments, concerns, anything you might want to say. But that being said, let's take just a minute to recap, because that was so much, the highlights of what we're doing here. So at the Collab Lab, you're going to get experience working on a team to build an app, just like you will out in the world in your dev jobs. The program is going to be 8 weeks long, and we're going to build a smart shopping list app. There is a link to the demo at the top of this file and at the bottom of the file, because I can't even express how important it is to just know what you're building. It's so helpful to know. So please take a look at the demo. Like we mentioned, it might look a little different, but just to know where you're headed is very helpful. So your team is going to be 4 developers and 3 mentors. Each week, the 4 of you developers are going to split into pairs of 2, and each pair is going to tackle one issue. So each week, you will have one partner. You and your partner will tackle one issue on your issues board. You'll spend about 5 hours a week doing all things Collab Lab, like Lauren mentioned. Keep us in the loop, keep your finger on the pulse of what that looks like, because the time commitments of programs like these are a big barrier into tech, and we want to make sure we're breaking down barriers, not creating new ones. So if you feel like it's going above the 5 hours a week, be loud about it so that we can make adjustments or help get things straightened out. And at the end of each week, after you've paired with your partner and gone through all the code reviews, we will have a weekly sync with our teams where we will demo the awesome work we've done and learn and grow together and talk about how to be the best team that we can be. So high level, you have a partner each week, you take care of an issue. At the end of the program, they all build up to be this one big, beautiful app. So it's just building on itself every week. So what is next? Andrew, I see you unmuted. Do you have something to say?
Oh, no, go for it.
Okay. What's next? The very next thing that will happen is this weekend you will have your first weekly sync. If that hasn't already been scheduled, check into your team channel and make sure you filled out the doodle to say when you're available, because what'll happen is you'll get this meeting scheduled, and that's when it will recur every week. So it should be at the same time every week. So show up this weekend. It's your first weekly sync. That is when we'll get together, and there won't be any demos because we haven't built anything yet, but we'll talk a little bit about how to use Git, because that's kind of going to be like a cornerstone of what you're doing here, collaborating through Git. So we'll do a presentation on that so you can learn what to do. And then we'll make sure you're all set up with the project so that you can get started next week with your partner. One thing that you'll need to do, and your mentors will post this in your team channels, but before you come to your weekly sync this weekend, make sure that you're able to clone your team's project and add yourself to the contributors list in there. When you get your team's repo, which again, we will post in your channel, don't worry, you're not going to miss it. In the README, there's instructions on how to add your name to that contributors file. And it's really just a way for us to know that you have the project pulled down and everything went smooth, because there can be a lot of friction and some little hiccups that come along with just getting a project set up. So we want to make sure you're set up for success. So that's a lot. Even just the recap felt like a lot. I'm sorry.
All right.
Gosh, I'm so sorry. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun, and you're going to love it. And I think you're going to build amazing things. One other quick thing that I want to mention, and I don't want to add too much more weight to this presentation, but one thing that's not mentioned in this orientation doc is that after your 8-week program, there's an optional 2-week program that we call Career Lab. And what this is we feel like we've done a pretty good job of giving people the skills that they need, setting them up for success to be in that first tech job as a developer. You learn how to work on a team, you learn how to use Git and how to build things together. But as part of our mission here is that we want to change tech. So we want to actually get you into those seats so that you can kick down the doors for people like you, right? And the only way you can do that is if you actually get the job. So we realized we needed to expand a little bit on the part where we help you get into those seats. So Career Lab's a 2-week program where we focus on, how to tell your story and how to interview in tech and how to position yourself in a way that's going to help you be really successful in landing a job that's really good for you. So we'll give you more information about that as the cohort goes on. We won't front load it, but if you want to stick around for Career Lab, it's a really exciting experience to help you get refined on the career side of things too. Totally free too. Yes, totally free. As is all of this, completely volunteer run and totally free. Okay, so let's do it. Yeah.
How's everybody feeling about it? I know that was a lot of information, but it's very common to feel both excited and nervous and all these kinds of things now. So if you're feeling those things, you're in good company. I know that all of you are going to have, you're all here because you belong here. You've done the things to prepare yourself. You are bringing the right mindset to it, and you're going to get in there and start working with your team and with your mentors and just have a really great experience. So I'm really excited for you all.
Woo-hoo. Okay, well, with that, I don't know how to say goodbye. Goodbyes are really hard. I'm just going to tired so you all hang up on me.
Yeah, but let us know if you have any questions. The cohort channel is a great place to ask those now, because any question that you have, probably there are other people who have the same question. So, but yeah, you'll kick off this weekend. So I know Stacie and I will probably be on most of those calls this weekend. I'm planning to be there. So we'll see you again in a couple of days.
Cool. Yep. Be loud. If you have questions, be watching your team channels. There will be more information there. Oh, Andrea.
Yeah, if I may ask a question now.
Of course.
Yeah, great. So I have a job interview today.
Congrats.
And thanks. My first one. And the fact that I'm doing Collab Lab may come up. And so I just wanted like some keywords, bullet points that I might want to point out that we're going to be working on. And I know the general idea is collaborating on a team. We'll be doing retrospectives. Is this considered an agile process? Just other keywords like that I could bring into this.
So I feel like, Stacie, you do a really good job, but we did that mock interview and you did a really good job of describing the experience. Like, is there like a 1-minute version of that?
The 1-minute version of it. Yeah, so some things that you could talk about in that interview are that you joined a program so that you could refine some of your collaboration skills. And some of the things we do at Collab Lab are build a project together with other developers on a team of developers using agile methodologies, like you said. So what is it? Oh, you are also using React. You're building a React app using Firebase as your database. What else? What are some?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Scrum. It's a similar process to Scrum. If that comes up, you're working off of a project board. The project, each ticket's going to have different states. So there's kind of to do, in progress, and done, like that.
One thing that can sound really great too is like bringing good teamwork to a team is a really important thing. So if you can talk about one of the experiences that you get at Collab Lab is the opportunity to do retrospectives with your team. And retrospectives are just a really great way to sit down and be transparent with each other about the things that are working really well and the things that could be improved, so that you continue to take that feedback and grow and continue to be even more successful and even more solid as a team. So heavy on the teamwork side of things here, pair programming so that you can share knowledge and use 2 brains on one project. Wow.
I put a couple things in the chat. So submitting pull requests and doing code reviews, and then demoing your work too. I mean, I think that's one of the actually big benefits that a lot of people have seen from going through the program is, if you're studying on your own or wherever, like sometimes you never say these words out loud. Just like we all kind of heard each of you say your own name, so we kind of know how to pronounce it. Like, Redux, like, is that a word you've ever said out loud? I mean, who knows, so having, you go through, we're not going to use Redux, by the way, but anyway, you go through this experience and you'll be talking to people about your work for 8 weeks. And so you just kind of get used to, how do you say, how do I describe this concept verbally? So.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
you're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Great question.
One thing that you'll get out of the whole experience too is when the 8 weeks is over and you've had time to collaborate on a team of developers, you come equipped with so many more answers to questions that you get in interviews. Like, tell me about a time you were on a team that you struggled or had to make trade-offs or decisions. And it's like, now you actually have real life software development team experiences to point to. Well, me and my teammate were working on this, issue, and we could either go this direction or this direction. And we, so you'll have like solid experiences to talk about through your interview processes.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Other questions? Anyone?
Oh, Melee, I think you might be muted. Were you asking us a question? Oh, maybe not. I saw someone talking.
Okay, Okay, I wanted to ask, when you said something like the fact that we are going to have things like user stories. So I wanted to know, is there a platform that we'll be using, like, let me say something like Jira, where the tasks can actually be split into like little pieces for us to work on weekly? Or by sprint or whatever.
Yeah. So
This
we won't be
something like
using Jira, but we'll be using GitHub projects, and all of the issues are kind of already outlined there. So here's an example. So the first week, there's going to be 2 issues, issues number 1 and issue number 2. They all have acceptance criteria, which is a really common thing on in software teams. So kind of outlines, this is how you know that the thing is done, like kind of the definition of done. And there's some notes in there too about kind of how to focus on making sure you're doing the right thing that week. Does that help?
And so
Sure, yeah.
kind of like in Jira, how you like put statuses on things, over here instead, what you'll do is you'll drag it, once it's assigned, you'll drag it to in progress. And then when it's ready for peer review, when it's ready for mentor review, and ready to merge main, and then eventually done. So it'll kind of flow through the process like that. But yeah, there are so many more advanced ways that this can be managed. Like you probably will use something like Jira when you get on a software development team, but we figured there's so many new things we're introducing Collabs to, we should keep it all in one place and keep it as simple as possible. If you've worked with Jira, it can be a little intimidating. And by a little, I mean, it's wildly intimidating.
If you really want to get experience with Jira, you can do the advanced project next time we offer it, where we do use Jira. So, but yeah, for this, we try to keep it pretty simple with GitHub projects.
So I don't think you mentioned the advanced project. Is that something we'll learn about at some point?
Yeah, we only offer it kind of every other time, I think. It's sort of the cadence we've been on recently. Lauren's actually going to be leading it next time. I don't know if you want to describe it a little bit.
Yeah, so the advanced project, instead of working in a more Scrum style, we utilize Kanban. So it's just a different way of approaching Agile. And we use Jira. We learn how to split stories. And yeah, it's a lot more hands-on, like project planning and managing your work. And it's a really cool app. It's a mobile web, like progressive web app that can geolocate where you are, and it can show, it uses Google Maps API, and then it shows Wikipedia entries near where you are. And then it, follows you around if you're location sharing. It's pretty neat. It's more complicated state management. But yeah, it's a fun, really challenging, and you learn some new collaboration skills too.
Wonderful. Thanks.
Any other questions? It's okay if you don't have them. I won't sit here and like draw them out of you. But if you do come up with questions, again, just share them out loud in the public so that we can all offer insight and we can all see what the answers to some of them are. We don't know the answers to those because we all have questions, and that's what we're here for. So with that, last call for questions.
I think that's probably it. Anything else? Any last minute things? Cool.
Okay. Well,
all right.
This is recorded. I'll post it so that you can all go back if you forgot something or you want to rewatch for some reason. And with that, we will see you this weekend on your first weekly syncs.
Yay. So glad you're all here.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
Take care. Bye, friends.
Take care. See you later.